Hello? Hey. Listen, we made it. All right. We made it pretty much to the end of the year. Okay. I think this is a good time for us to sit down, really think about what we've been through this year, what's going on, what we've learned this year, and figure out how we can take all the stuff we've learned in this year and implement it into the next year. Honey, I cannot speak for you. Okay, but for me, this year has been crazy. All right. But in all of that, I think for me, the theme of the year has just been maintain. All right. I think God has given me the word maintain for this year. All right. I think for me, this is a year of God seeing if he can trust me with the things that I currently have, seeing if I can be a good steward with the things that he gives me this year in order to bless me and multiply me with more. All right. One of my favorite sayings is, if God can't trust you with $100, he's definitely not going to give you 100,000. Okay. So I think God, gave me a little $100, see what I can do with that. Beautiful opportunities came this year. Love that for me. Okay. So biggest reoccurring theme really was maintain. Now, one of the biggest lessons that I learned this year was really just do what's best for you. All right. I know people say that, but it's way harder than it actually is. Than it sounds in practice, right? If y'all follow me on TikTok, if you don't, you're anti-black. Okay, but for real though, if you follow me on TikTok, you probably have heard me call myself a recovering people pleaser, a reformed people pleaser, anything along those lines. Okay, honey, I love helping people. All right, but I also learn other people's problems sometimes can be a distraction from my own. Okay, that's crazy, right? I also realized a pattern in my life where I would help people and then they would be in like a better position, but then I would be in the same or worse position. You get what I'm saying? I'm not exactly where I want to be right now. So I don't necessarily have the time to constantly help other people get in these better positions and then me being worse off at the end. Especially because a lot of times too, the people that you're helping are also trying to figure it all out. So once you're done helping them, if you need some help, they may not be able to help you just because, not necessarily because they don't want to. I mean, hey, maybe they don't want to, but they may just be trying to keep their head above water themselves. So just overall, bless people when you can, but don't stretch yourself thin. Okay, go above and beyond when you can, but do what you can. All right, leave a little bit for yourself at the end of the day. And if you already have plans that you and God have talked about, you and the universe have conferred on, stick to your plans. Okay, there's going to be things that come that purposely get in the way of your plan. It's really a test to see if you're going to stay focused on your plan. Trust me, it happened 2 or 3 times this year. I had foolproof plans for 2 or 3 months planned out, and then the opportunity would come. Even if the opportunity looks like a blessing, okay, it's literally just to see if I'm going to be obedient to God and obedient to our plan. So one of the biggest lessons I definitely learned this year is doing what's best for you, sticking to the plan. Okay, and just a side note, trust the universe. Okay, trust the process. All right. Even when you feel like it's a lot going on, it's a little bad, you're not where you want to be, keep trusting the universe. Okay. That's another lesson I learned this year. Me and God was really in here battling it out. All right. God, the universe, whatever you prefer to call him. You might hear me using interchangeable names. All right. At certain parts of the year, I'm really looking at this man and if you truly have a relationship with God, you're not going to feel any type of way about how I reference my relationship with God, because God is my homie. Okay. God doesn't want these perfect relationships with people. He just wants a relationship, period. Okay. So at the beginning of the year, I'm talking to God like, God, you really expect me to trust you? Like, no cap, no, whatever. I'm grateful that we're here and we're breathing and all these things. However, I can't see you. I can't touch you. I can't physically embrace you. There's people in my life who I physically embrace and I can't trust them. So you telling me you want me to trust you? And I pretty much told God, like, listen, for me to trust you, you have to really blow my mind. Like, I have trust issues. And I'm talking to God like he don't already know these things about me. Okay? I'm like, God, you know I have trust issues. So you're really going to have to blow my mind. And listen, he started blowing my mind. Okay? He really started blowing my mind. And then I looked up 6 months later and was like, whoa. Wow. Okay, God, I really don't have no other reason not to trust you. It would be crazy not to trust you. So that was definitely one of the biggest, most beautiful lessons I've learned of this year. Trusting God, trusting the process, trusting the universe, trusting our plans, trusting that we locked in. You get what I'm saying? All that good stuff. Okay. Now, this next thing I learned kind of smacked me in the face because, listen, something I learned this year was to just have fun, man. I don't care if you in your teens, 20s, late 20s, early 20s, 30s, pushing 40s, 50s, 70s, 80s. I do not care. Have some fun, okay? Listen, I realize I love making people smile. I love making people laugh, okay? If I end up being a comedian in the future, do not be surprised, y'all, because I love to make people chuckle, okay? But when it came to everything that I personally had going on or people interacting with me, everything had to be so serious and so productive. All my relationships had to be so beneficial and so blah, blah, blah. Like, if it wasn't about me learning something, learning a new marketable skill, starting a business, doing some generational wealth, blah, blah, goodbye. Was not having it. Like, anybody that was coming in my life, you got to be doing X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I'm not even talking about extravagant things, just realistic things for someone like me who is 25 and trying to grow for the long haul, trying to actually build a foundation, right? So it's not crazy to think that way, but to the extent that I was doing it was really a survival mind state, right? Just this, I gotta make all the money right now and then I can enjoy life later because I'm trying to retire before I'm 30. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I really realized that even if I quote unquote retire and have all the money in the world by the time I'm 30, there's still going to be jobs that I want. I'm playing with the idea of maybe becoming a teacher. Don't quote me on that. But it's like, that's still a job. You get what I'm saying? I could be a millionaire and I would still possibly want to do that. Or, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, just having more fun, not being so serious about life. And the crazy thing is, the way I realized this was through two things. Books, something I really, really love, and something that before this year I didn't really care about. Books and video games, okay? I have always loved to read. Since I was a kid, I always loved to read. I always loved to write. My parents always bought me books. Reading was always a big thing. My sister loved to read. My mom used to love to read. Up until about I got in high school, I would always have a book in my hand, book in my book bag, catch me reading, etc., etc. See, I am a boss, okay? I grew up reading Junie B. Jones, okay? For the baddies that know, if you're not a Junie B. Jones, Amelia Bedelia type girl, you're not going to get it. But the girls that get it, okay? And so last year, when I was making my vision board, I put on my vision board that I wanted to get back into reading more, right? I literally still have books that I got in high school, but on top of the books that I already had, I wanted to start collecting more books, right? But then this year I realized in the process of buying more books, looking at the books I already had, etc., all the books I had were like reference books or something I had to learn from, right? I had books about astrology, herbalism, finance, personal development, but I didn't have any books that I genuinely could just sit down and enjoy reading, like just for the fun of it. Like, nothing that I could really just escape into a world of like, you know, like what some books are actually supposed to be for. So this year I changed that. I started buying myself fictional books and I gave myself that enjoyment and that escapism, right? Kind of the same thing happened with video games. Growing up, we didn't really have video games. If we had video games, it was a VTech, okay? It was a leapfrog. It was something productive that you can learn from. You get what I'm saying? But I forgot that stuff was actually fun to me. So growing up, my perception of people who play video games were, if you're not making money off video games, if you're not streaming, I've helped people start Twitch channels, start YouTube gaming channels. My perception, if you wasn't those people in those categories, you probably was lazy, you probably was a couch potato, etc., etc. That time you could have been using on video games, you could be starting a business, you could be learning a hobby, you could be blah blah blah. Let me tell y'all what changed my mind. Somehow I started playing this game called Genshin Impact. If you know, you know. If you don't know, the best way I can explain it, it's this RPG. So it's like this real world kind of open player game. It's based on this anime that hasn't even come out yet. And I can't really explain it. The graphics are lovely. I just love it. But being able to immerse myself in that world gave me a break from just the overthinking and the constantly overanalyzing, and it really helped me understand why people that love video games. Like, there are even some people in my life who I've tried to get them to stop playing video games so much that I really had to go to them and be like, I get it now. I get it. You get what I'm saying? I get the end of the day, you're getting off work, that wanting to wind down, let me hop on my game for a little while. I definitely get it. I'm one of those people now. Maybe not every day, because I do still believe in being productive to be efficient, but catch me on Genshin Impact, okay? Don't be surprised if I start a channel just for me gaming, all right? However, even if you don't like video games or books, you have to find your thing. You have to find that thing that helps you relax and help you detach from the world. You have to find something just to do in your downtime. You have to create downtime for yourself in general. If not, you will burn yourself out. That's when they say you're burning the candle at both ends. That's literally what will happen. You don't even realize, when you're overthinking like that, you don't give yourself the chance to come to those aha moments where the answer just comes to you. The answer will come to you if you give yourself a break, or maybe you don't need any answers to come to you. Maybe you just need to chill the freak out, okay? Everything is not always about making money. Everything is not always about being super productive. Sometimes it's really just about enjoying your life and being in the moment, okay? Being present, enjoying friend time, family time, lover time with yourself, child, among other things, okay? Sometimes just sit there and don't do nothing. I'm talking about I even had to give myself a reading break at one point. Don't do nothing. Just sit in silence. Learn how to be bored again, man. We are so overstimulated as a people, as a society. We have to just sit down and learn how to be bored. That's when your most introspective, most reflective time is going to happen, man. So, above anything else, be gentle with yourself and just give yourself some grace, okay? Listen, I didn't want to keep you too long, child. All right? I just wanted to call you for a minute, see how you was doing, really talk about the year, okay? And don't forget, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss the next time I call you, okay? I look forward to talking to you again soon. Later.